Hey y'all, so I'm back with a follow-up on my new Spectra Gold pump. I love the pump so far. I've been using it for the last couple days. I actually started using it the day my milk came in because baby Karis here lost a pound over the first 2 days after being discharged, and so her pediatrician recommended that I start to pump as soon as possible so I can nurse her and have bottles ready every 2 hours or on demand whenever she's hungry. So she already has regained her pound and a little bit more, so it's working. I'm very excited about that. This happened with my other two as well, so I didn't fret about it. The other two didn't lose as much as she lost, a whole pound. They lost several ounces though, and it's kind of the same thing. My milk took a couple days to come in. Once it turned from that colostrum to the good white stuff, that's when I start pumping. And I wish I didn't have to pump so early because I like the idea of being able to just nurse on demand and not have to teach the baby how to differentiate between my nipples and the bottle nipples. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to make sure your baby is healthy. And so I do pump as soon as my milk starts coming in. So again, back to my pump. What I wanna do is actually show you guys what goes into pumping because one of my, is this girl waking up? I might be too loud. But one of my subscribers actually asked for a video on how to use a breast pump. And I thought about it, and at first I was like, well, I don't want my boobs all out. But then I was like, at the same token, I never knew what went into pumping until I had to do it myself. Like, I've seen my friends breastfeed, and you know, I don't think I learned the mechanics of breastfeeding just from watching them, but at least I saw what it looked like. But with pumping, I had never seen anybody pump before I had my first baby. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it just to show some of those first time moms all the mechanics of pumping breast milk. So here we go. Whenever I need to pump, which right now is like every 4 hours or so, because I'm nursing her. I'm nursing her every couple hours, and then sometimes I'm not empty afterwards. I just know I'm not empty afterwards. I still feel a little heavy. Or if she nurses on one breast, then I know the other one is still full. So sometimes I'll pump on just the one. And that's one of the things I love about this pump is you can pump just one breast at a time, which other pumps allow you to do that. But this one allows you to adjust your vacuum level, your suction, based on what the need is for that boob at the time. So I love that because you can have the vacuum high on one and lower on another breast and be double pumping at the same time. And I've used Medela pumping styles in the past, and you couldn't control the speed on just one breast like that if you were double pumping. So I really like that. So anyway, back to how to use it. So you just connect your backflow protector to your flange. I just turn it in there, do a little push at the end, and then I make sure my tubing is all the way flush with the backflow protector, and do the same thing with the other end. Just make sure it's all the way in. If you don't, then your suction is not going to be as high, and you might notice lower milk production. So you want to make sure you pay attention to the small things. It's the little things. Same thing on the other side. And then just put those right on the bottles. Make sure you get it on very well, nice and tight. And then you get to pumping. So you want to make sure you have a nice pumping bra. I wear a lot of nursing bras, but when I pump, I switch. This is my nursing bra, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and then I'm going to place the flange inside of the hole in the bra. So it fits really nice. And then you just put it on your boob. So this is the look. I have a strapless pumping bra. It has straps. If you do want to wear the straps, you can go ahead and just connect them. If you got big jugs, then you're probably gonna need the straps for sure. For two things. One, just it's more comfortable, but secondly, you wanna make sure that your breasts are as kind of high as possible so that you can get the milk that's coming from the bottom of your breast, the milk ducts that are down there. Now you guys probably can't hear it at all because it's super quiet. That's another feature that I love. And this is the screen, which is nice and digital. You guys can see my vacuum on my left is at a 3. My vacuum on the right is at a 4. And this is just for the letdown. I let the letdown usually go for about 2 minutes until I start to see some milk. You can even change the speed as well, which is another feature that I really like. So you have a lot of control with this pump. I'm actually going to switch it off of the letdown function now. So I just press the little waves and you just hit right and left and it remembers your last setting. It's super cool. So my last setting was a 5 and a 6 for the vacuum. And my cycle actually is pretty high. Out of 5, I think I have it on, yeah, the 4th cycle. So that's it. And you have a little light on here, which you guys probably can't see. Oh, you can see it right there, which is nice and helpful in the middle of the night. So you guys can get a closer view. So you can see, I got a little bit of milk that just started pooling in there. So I usually pump for about 30 minutes. You probably don't have to pump that long. I have a history of thick and sticky breast milk. I learned from a lactation consultant. I love lactation consultants, y'all. I had one come visit me when I was at the hospital with Karis. She is covering up her eyes like, it's too bright, mama. These lights are too bright. Yeah, lactation consultant came and visited me in the hospital, which likely yours will have a lactation consultant on staff as well. And whether you've breastfed before or this is your 3rd time like me, they still come to your room and they still give you advice. And mine gave me some really good advice because you forget things. So again, you may only take 15 minutes, 20 minutes. My milk first came in a couple days ago. I was only pumping for about 15, 20 minutes, and you know you're done when there's like either no more milk coming out or very, very little trickling out inconsistently. Then you know you're empty, and you can feel your breasts. If they're softer, then you typically know that you're done. So I was pumping about 15 minutes at the beginning. When she nurses, it varies. Sometimes she nurses for 20 minutes straight on one breast. Other times she'll go like 5 minutes and then she got a burper and then she'll kind of work her way over to the other boob. And I might do 5 minutes there, I might do 10, 15 minutes there. So it just varies with her hunger, and that's why they call it feeding on demand. The pump gives you a little bit more of a consistency so that you know, like, okay, every few hours it's time to pump and I'm going to probably get this many ounces. We'll see when I'm done how many ounces I get after this pump. I went a little bit long. Y'all see my face is completely done. We had the baby's photo shoot today, the newborn photos. It went a little bit longer than expected because we had our other 2 daughters in the shoot as well. And you know how it is when you're trying to do photos with toddlers. It is just disorganized and it's a lot of fun though. And so anyway, I don't know how many ounces I'm going to pump. Usually I'm pumping different ounces on different boobs. So my right, I usually get a little bit more. I actually got like 4 or 5 ounces the last couple hours ago when I pumped, few hours ago when I pumped. And then on my left, I think I only got 2 ounces. So we'll see what I get after this one. Okay, y'all not gonna believe how much milk I just got. It's a sign that I waited way too long. But I filled both cups up. Yeah, I just got about 12 ounces. Don't wait that long because you can actually get an infection called mastitis. I was the queen of mastitis with Kennedy. Not so bad with Cameron at all, just a couple times. This is a word to the wise. Try to empty at least every 3 hours. Again, it depends on how much your baby needs and how much they're eating on demand. But you want to make sure that you don't wait too long. And I love everything about this pump except one thing. And it's not actually the pump. It's the bottles themselves. So this is from a few hours ago when I pumped, which I'm going to have to refrigerate this one. So that's what I've been doing. Once I get a new feed going and she's fine and sleeping. I don't know if y'all can hear her talking in her sleep right now. This girl should be awake, okay? She be up all night. Last 2 nights, she's up all night and just gone. She just be out all day. We're gonna have to start waking her up so we can get her cluster feeding at the evening time and dream feeding at like 8, 9 o'clock, and then trying to get her to sleep through the night. It's a whole thing, and it's super early. She's only a little over a week now, so we'll give her some time to adjust. But yeah, this chick has been asleep for hours. She did the whole photo shoot asleep, and the shoot was like 3-4 hours. So she just been knocked out. Must be nice, because we not getting that type of sleep right now. But the reason I brought this up is because what I've been doing is, once I'm done pumping, I pour the milk into a Medela bottle. So you might be wondering why I do that. I love Medela bottles. I use these for the last 2 babies with my Medela pump. So there's 2 reasons why I like the Medela bottles better. One, they have the slow flow nipples, and when your baby is so little, so young, you definitely want to have a slow flow nipple. If they're premature, you can even try to do an extra slow flow nipple. Sometimes hospitals give you those. And so the nipple that comes with the Spectra pumps are one size. At least I haven't found any. If you guys know of any stores that sell slow flows for the Spectra bottles, then I will purchase those and try those out. So let me know. So I'm just popping the milk off now so you guys can see. And this is the nipple that comes with the Spectra bottles. The second reason why I like the Medelas better is because they stay on tight and there's no leakage. I never have leakage with my Medela. We've had leakage multiple times already with these bottles. My husband was feeding the baby in the middle of the night a couple nights ago and made a total mess, and we thought the cap was on. It's just not as secure, in my opinion, as the Medela bottles. So it goes on nice and tight and it feels snug, but I will show you guys one difference is that the rings that are inside are not completely going around the whole circumference of the nipple. So it's like they have a few here, then there's some space, and they have another one here, there's some space. And so I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm thinking, I'm not a bottle designer. I'm a clothes designer of athletic wear. Shout out to Miss Fit Activewear. But I'm not a designer of bottles. So I don't know if that's the reason why. Sometimes when you put it on, it just doesn't go on completely. So even just what I just did right now, I thought it went on and it sounded like it went on, but you can see it's crooked. So it just doesn't go on, and maybe it's the user. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's my husband's fault. We both had the same issue 2 different times, but you sometimes have to take it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on, just to make sure that it's on correctly. While with the Medela, it's just one way on, one way off. And they have the circumference of the whole ring around 360 degrees. It just feel more secure. So what I'm doing lastly is refrigerating the breast milk that I have left over. So I keep this handy just in case she wakes up while I'm pumping and I don't want to undo everything and pop a boob out. Maybe it's just lazy, I don't know, but I just want to have a bottle handy if she needs it. And then once I am done with the milk, then I just go ahead and put this in the fridge. You can refrigerate it for about 3 days, maybe 4, and then you can start freezing it. So I've got about almost 10 ounces in there once I put this couple ounces in, and so I'm gonna actually start freezing some of the milk that I put in there a couple days ago. I froze 800 ounces of breast milk with Cameron. 800. It sounds crazy. My mom was like, you didn't sell that? I could have. You can sell breast milk and make some good money, or you can donate to a hospital. What I did with it, I mentioned to you guys, I was exclusively pumping after 3 months all the way up until about 13 months. So that's why I had so much milk. I was pumping for 10 months and multiple times in a day. And so what it allowed me to do was to stop pumping at the 13th month mark, but still give the baby breast milk. But that's the plan, is if it comes to that, you know, I probably won't have 800 ounces this time because I'm not exclusively pumping. I'm still breastfeeding. But if it comes to that, at least I know I have a backup plan. A couple tips before I let you guys go. So a couple things that I do before I pump is I just get a wet cloth, a face cloth, and I heat it with just hot water. So I run the hot water until it's like super hot, and I wring it in there a couple times, and I do that on each breast and massage just a little bit so that my milk is just ready to come out as soon as I start. I do that sometimes when I'm about to breastfeed as well, unless she's just really super hungry and I don't have time for it. But yeah, it really helps just to loosen up that milk and to get your letdown reflex quickly working. Another thing I do when I'm pumping is I put coconut oil on, either you can put it inside of the flange or you can just put it on your areola, because you don't want that friction of your skin rubbing up against the plastic. Don't put too much on your nipple because you don't want the baby having to ingest that every time they feed. So that's it. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully this was helpful for you if this was your first time even seeing somebody pump or you didn't understand the mechanics of it. It's pretty simple. And then once you're done, you just unhook everything. I like to take the milk off first because it's liquid gold and I would hate to spill any of it while I'm disconnecting. See, I tried to do it and it didn't actually turn all the way. So then I gotta try it slowly one more time. You ain't got time for that at 3 o'clock in the morning when the baby is screaming and you are pumping and you want to give the baby a bottle while you're still pumping. No time for that. And then as far as disconnecting, you just do it the way backwards, the way you did it. So take off the backflow. I'm dripping a little bit. I keep tissue and paper towel handy for moments like this. Oh, y'all tell me I was dripping over here. So take the other one off the same way you took the previous one off, and that's it. And put it right on my nightstand until next time, which is going to be a few hours. I'm probably going to wake her up in a second as soon as I'm done with this video, just to nurse her, and then pump in maybe a few hours if she empties me during her nursing session. So again, I'm just playing it by ear. She's a newborn, so I'm just feeding her on demand right now, and we'll develop a schedule eventually. Hope that's helpful. Cheers to the new baby. Cheers to you. And thanks so much for watching.